about Lloyd James. Obviously he brings something a little bit different to the team. Can you just tell me what you think he's going to bring to the side?
Well, he's definitely going to bring the experience. You know, we've been saying for a little while now we needed a little bit of experience, and at 31, you know, you look at his CV, he's done most things in most leagues, and I remember him as a kid playing at Southampton. Certainly remember him as a opposing player against when I was at Cheltenham. He played against us for Southampton when I was at Bristol City. So, you know, we've sort of kept an eye on him over the years, and at this moment in time we've had a little bit of luck with his circumstances, and met him, and he, you know, decided, yes, I'm happy to come here and help out, as it were. You know, it's a short-term loan, but there's obviously always a chance of it being longer.
Can't be many times that there's an opportunity arises with somebody of his calibre and his experience that's available at this time of the season.
That's right, and also, as we always say, he's not a million miles away from here. You know, you can't always get players that are up north with families. He's got a family, he's got a couple of kids in school, but fortunately he lives not too far away from here, between here and Bristol, and yeah, everything's got to fit, and certainly it does. The only thing is he hasn't played as many games because of obviously his circumstances, but he's kept himself fit and he looks fit. He's trained with us a couple of days, and yeah, we're looking forward to letting him off the leash, because he must be desperate to start playing.
Excellent. And obviously disappointing result up at Harrogate, but did you see enough there to make you think that things are starting to turn in our favour?
Good question. If I'm going to answer it honestly, I'd say no, which is terrible, but it's you know, we've got to be honest with ourselves. I felt that the Harrogate game could have been one of the poorest games we've had, and that was just the straw that broke the camel's back a little bit, where I felt that we did a lot of work last week. We did a lot of motivational work, we did a lot of double sessions, etc., and we just wasn't good enough on the day, and we have to look at that and decide, you know, what, i.e. we needed to bring in an experienced midfielder. We probably need to bring in another 2 or 3 as soon as we can, and probably 2 or 3 will have to go. So that's what I said last week. It's some difficult decisions. It's not always easy. You can't just open the door and say see you later, or open it and just say come in, welcome. There's a lot goes on, and a lot of circumstances that have to be right both ways, because nobody's just going to walk out on a contract. So but we know what we want, and we got to get it in as quick as we can, and start playing the way we want our teams to play. That's my honest opinion, because our supporters deserve it, because you know, 300 at Harrogate, you know what I mean? It was a long old trip, and you know, all the shenanigans that go on with long trips, and because they're not just when you look at the sat nav and it says, you know, 3.5, 4 hours or something. The driver's got to have his hour. It's peeing down with rain, you know, and then there's always a blockage or something, isn't there? You know, I've mentioned it before, and I always think of supporters on them occasions, especially if we've lost. If we've won, you go, it don't matter, you know, we've had a great day. But when you've lost, the boys need to be aware of the effort that goes in off the pitch. Now, you know, this group of lads, we're the same group of lads that beat Stockport only a month or so ago before they beat us. We beat Harrogate a month or so ago before they beat us. So there's a mentality somewhere along the line at the moment that's not quite clicking, and of course we're still waiting for some of our injuries to get back. We're probably playing people sometimes before they're ready, just because we've got to give them minutes on the pitch. You've got no time to give them 3, 4 reserve games, you know what I mean? So you have to stick them out there and give them time on the pitch. Even, and then obviously you get, every game we seem to get a knock or two, and that's, so the luck's not with us at the moment either, but I'm trying to be honest as far as what I think other people that went to the game would have seen, and I don't think they'd have been that enthused. I mean, it wouldn't have taken a lot, I don't think, a lot more to have actually won the game, but we didn't see the Torquay United game, and that's what I need to see.
And how has training gone this week? Is there anything in particular that you've been working on with them?
Yeah, the lads are fantastic in training. They respond to everything we do, and we've even started giving them their information just before they leave the dressing room to go on the pitch, because sometimes they sleep and then they wake up in the morning and some of them have forgotten what they've done the day before. So the footballer at this level is a little bit inconsistent, if you like. So they've just got to go out and produce what they produce in training. And then we'll be okay, but some of them forget when it doesn't quite go well, when the opposition scores the first goal, for instance, then all of a sudden the tactics seem to go out the window in their heads, when often teams have scored early against us. We got plenty of time to get the game back, but we tend to, in their heads, they're panicking a little bit. That's the young inexperience for you. If I can get people like Asa back on the pitch and Connor back properly, and then we've got James has come in, Liam Davis, who do you just mount to me? Yeah, Liam Davis. Listen, there's 5 or 6 in there, but we know that. But we're not going to cry over that. We've got to make sure that we got them ready for whoever's available, ready for the next game. And as I say, they're training well, but we're just not. We've lost a little bit of confidence in the game. We need to win the next game, whatever it is, whatever competition it is.
And how are things looking on the injury front?
Well, they're not great at the minute, because a lot of the injuries were long-term injuries, and we have got time scales of people that may or may not come back. As we speak on a Thursday, it's ridiculous that sometimes we have to wait till the Friday before we can pick a team. And last week Asa dropped out on the Saturday, so as far as that's concerned, hopefully the New Year, the Christmas and New Year, will bring us a bit more luck.
And not content with getting 6 promotions in your career, you also won the FA Trophy. So, what does this tournament mean to you?
Do you know what? The tournament means a lot to me. However, the game means more to me tomorrow. It doesn't matter what it was. It could be what they call JPL game or whatever it is. This team needs to produce a winning performance, and it just so happens to be the trophy. Now, of course, we won't be playing. We haven't got a second team anyway. But I want the boys to get their confidence back, so they've got to try and get the game back, and the next game always gives them that opportunity to do that, and so that's good, and you won't lose any points. At the same time, once you get into the later rounds of the trophy, which everybody, all the shop will want to be as well, then it becomes it picks up the club. It's like it's almost like an FA Cup final, because is it Wembley this year?
Yes.
Yeah, because we was unlucky that the year we won it was the only year that it was played at Villa Park. However, that was a fantastic stadium, and we had a great result, etc. But it can just boost the season as you go along, if you can stay up in the playoff area or near it, and you have a good FA Trophy run. It makes everybody happy, and it means you're winning games again.
Lloyd James coming in, is that the type of player that you're going to be looking at? You say that there could be players coming in, players coming out. Is that experienced player the type of player that you're going to look to?
Yeah, we need more experience, that's for sure. It may only be 1 or 2, because you can't have a team of leaders, if you like. You've got to have the young legs that can get about the pitch and take information on, take orders. And I think we've got enough older players here now, when they're fit, and experienced players. Armani's another one. He's a young lad, but he leads by example, if you like, and we haven't had him for a long time now. So I think the young boys needed, the younger ones, because our average age was 21, you said, or something. So that's young, and it means that they haven't had the experiences of adversity at this level. They don't know how to produce their ability often at this level, because it's a very, very good level, and it's definitely Football League level now, that nearly everybody has gone full time in the national conference.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that the level, how, we're now a third and nearly halfway through the season. How's the level? Is the level any different from when you were at this level when you were managing at this level before?
Yeah, it's been growing every year, definitely. I was at this level only 2 seasons ago with Cheltenham, and we got into the Football League. I know the level, that's for sure. The level hasn't changed much from my Cheltenham days a couple of seasons ago. It's certainly changed from my Yeovil days, that's for sure, because many teams were sort of part-time at that time, and it's a lot of it's another second division, the conference now, in my opinion. Teams that go up to the second division do okay. Teams that come down from the second division don't necessarily do okay. You know what I mean? You look at Chesterfield at the moment. We just have to believe, if this is a full-time league and like the second division, then if we can get ourselves promoted in the near future, then you should be ready to compete in the Football League.
You said about the mentality, so a month ago it was all looking great, in and amongst the playoffs, only a couple of points off the top. When you say mentality, what exactly? Can you be more specific as to why you've hit this run of form? Obviously the injuries haven't helped. Is there something more specific than the mentality? Luck? I don't.
Well, yeah. Obviously, you need your modicum of luck. That's for sure. And it's often injuries that do give you the bad luck, because you can't have 30 first team players, if you like. Generally you have 15 first team players, and then 5 or 6 with lads that you're going to build into the team. So the mental state of it is confidence, really. You know what I mean? When you're winning, you go out and you're much happier. You're not questioning anything. You believe in what you're doing, what your mates are doing. All that sort of stuff. Whereas all of a sudden, we had a poor result and a poor game against Maidstone, and that was sort of the start of it, because we'd won 8 out of 10 before that. And I keep saying that because often take the injuries out of it, and it's almost the same team that's now playing and in this little slump bit. But if you look at it, every team that's at the top at the minute has had a little slump, and we're certainly having ours, and we've got to stop it as quickly as we can. And I always say, if I keep getting it round the head with a stick, how long do you leave it? Sometimes you've got to duck and change things. You've got to change, and that's what I've got to do now. And everybody's sort of a bit worried about their jobs at the moment, and whether they're going to be here or not going to be here, that sort of stuff. I've got to try and give the confidence to the ones that are going to be here, and move the ones out as quickly as possible that aren't going to be here, and give them a new group of lads to come in and help us, because it's that the mentality over 46 games does change, because nobody wins every game. Do you know what I mean? And it's how people cope in adversity. The younger ones who haven't had it before would have gained good experience, but we're losing games by giving them the experience. They'll be better for it if they're good enough, but if they're good enough, they'll stay, and I'll change their mentality. If they're not good enough, which it looks like some of us aren't, then we need to move them on.
You said about the slump. There's never any good time to have a slump, but if your slump is to come before Christmas, is it a good time to have it?
Well, there's no good time to have a slump, and I class a slump as a couple of losses. Do you know what I mean? We've had 5 in the league and 1 in the cup, so we really have got to turn it around quick. But within 2 or 3 weeks, if we do get a couple of the lads back that we're keeping our fingers crossed for over the Christmas period, then you can pick up a lot of points over a very short space of time. So, we need a good Christmas and New Year, that's for sure.
Lloyd's had been out a bit at Forest Green. Has that been injury related, or is it just one of those?
I think
things
it's his circumstances.
Right.
I mean,
He's not come to us on the back of an injury or anything like that.
No. He's fit, and he's been training hard.
Yeah.
And he's looked okay. He's a quality passer of the ball. I think we need one of those. I think we need a spotter, somebody who can spot runs, you know, where when somebody gets it, you know that he's looking for you. Do you know what I mean? That's what we sort of need a little bit in our team. And his quality has never been in question. So we'll have to, you know, hopefully he's physically ready. I'm sure he is. He's looked okay. And he's definitely mentally ready because he's really looking forward to it. You know, he hasn't played for a little while. So
slight frustration on Saturday that perhaps Jared is not available.
Yeah, it's a shame. Because he came on and made a bit of a difference up at Harrogate. You know, he kept the ball up there. He was challenging. You know, he was. You know, I thought he'd done well, and that's a shame. But again, it was another good 45 minutes for him, just under. And what he shows everybody is if your quality's not going to be right on his head, he's going to go and find it, which is great. And he did that a few times, and actually he played a big part in our goal.
Yeah.
So you know, he's improving. He's a real good learner. You know, he wants to pick things up quick.
I'm sure in other circumstances you'd have had him inked in as a
probably,
player
if
he would have been available.
Yeah. You would do. He would have almost certainly have played Saturday.
Yeah. And in normal circumstances, is there ever normal circumstances? You might have been looking to sort of play one or two others in this game. In where we are now, are you kind of thinking, I need to put a really strong side out on Saturday? And,
well, no, I've got to put my strongest side out.
Strongest available side.
Exactly, there's a difference. And that's what I'll do, because you've still got to fill the bench. Every week we seem to be scrapping to fill the bench. The problem is, because we've had long-term injuries, you know, I've got 9 loans, is it? I think.
But half of them are injured.
Half of them are injured, but then, you know, when everybody's fit, you can only play 5 of them.
Yes. It looks like a lot of loans on paper, doesn't it?
Well,
but if only 4 of them, 5 of them are available,
exactly,
then
because you don't, you know, you can't get football league people on permanence at this stage. If they're any good, they're doing well in their teams. You know, so you've got to wait for a circumstance like James Lloyd, you know, and they don't come around every week. But you've got to be out there looking for them before somebody else sees it first. You know what I mean? So, but you know, I'm confident. I know I'm sounding a little bit down, you know, because obviously I can't be Billy Buckling when we're just.
It's not all sweetness and light.
No, and I've been in these situations before. And you can turn it round with 1 or 2 people coming back, you know, and everybody going, oh, thank Christ for that, you know, he's back. And then you get a win. That's why it's important to get the next win. And all of a sudden that mental state is back, you know, and everybody looks at each other in a much better light. The supporters are happier, you know, the players are happier. But funny enough, the beauty of this club at the minute is we've done enough at the minute. It will soon fall away, but we've got to, you know, get it back as soon as possible. But we've done enough to keep the supporters with us. You know, the players have, because we have had games that we've lost and we shouldn't have lost. You know, games at home, Dave, where we absolutely trounced the team, hit the crossbar, hit the post, didn't get a penalty, referee gives them something. There's been a few of them. And only the one game did we get well beaten in as far as goals are concerned, which was Stockport, who we beat 4-0 a month earlier. But the stats were that we had 10 chances and they had 10 chances, and it was just that our mistakes, our, you know, poor bits of play every now and again led to their goals, and you know, we've got to turn that around. But at the moment, the supporters are still turning up. We want them to turn up because I don't want them to miss. If we do turn it round and we are near enough to the playoffs, etc., then you know, we want them with us for the
you don't
whole
want them
of the
to miss
season.
it.
I want them for the whole of the season. Do you know what I mean? And they've been great. I mean, I can't, you know, thank them enough, because, you know, when it gets going again, then they'd have played a big part in it, our support, and it will get going again.
I think the last thing I was going to add is that everything you're saying does ring very true to what you said at the start of the season, that very rarely do you the squad that you start with is the one that you end with.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
right.
seems to be ringing true.
No, it does ring true. Don't forget last year, you know, some people say this is and not a negative, but something that what I do. I'll let you pick the word. What I do, to get people to get promotion, I promise them the opportunity of playing at the next level, because often, you know, like conference out and all that, a lot of them hadn't played in the conference or the league, and when I'm in the conference, and I always give them that opportunity the first part of the season to prove to me that they are the next level, because you wouldn't get the promotion if you said to people, get me promotion and I'll get rid of you and I'll bring someone in. Do you know what I mean? How's that going? So that's what I've had to do, and it's now, you know, people can say, well, I've waited too long. Not really, because we was 2 points away from the, you know, automatic promotion 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's just that, but now I've got to go, right, bang, now I've got to change thoughts, and too loyal was the word. Do you know what I mean? Some say that I'm too loyal to the players, and I say, but that's how I get them to this level in the first place, and then you have to adjust accordingly.